Shadows of Evil right now is probably considered the greatest zombies map ever made. If not that, then it's at least the most popular, and a lot of that is due to the insane quality plus the multi-year rise of Easter egg speedruns on that map. It's hard to go anywhere on YouTube right now and not see a Shadows of Evil Easter egg speedrun or some sort of retrospective about how good Shadows is. For me personally, I consider it the greatest zombies map ever made alongside Shadows of Evil and Ancient Evil. I just really love those maps. But if we rewind back to November of 2015, it wasn't always that simple, and when Shadows of Evil first released, it was actually considered really underwhelming. So let's talk about the things that made Shadows of Evil mid at the time and how Treyarch fixed them to create the GOAT. And tell me in the comments, do you think Shadows of Evil is overrated, underrated, or just properly rated? Do you think it's the GOAT? So I'm actually going to start off super spicy here. You know the Apothecan's Servant, the thing that kills zombies forever and you shove your whole fist inside of? Yeah, it's really good, but back when Shadows of Evil first launched, you could actually upgrade it. Now most people these days are familiar with the Revelations version of the upgraded Apothecan's Servant, the one with 15 shots of ammo, but on Shadows of Evil when you pack-a-punched it, it had 22 shots of ammo, which is just crazy. Being able to upgrade it though wasn't really intentional, because in order to do it you actually had to hold down the interact button after switching weapons right next to the pack-a-punch machine. After about a month of Black Ops 3 being released, Treyarch actually patched it so you could no longer upgrade the Apothecan's Servant, and the community was extremely pissed about that, but actually looking back on it, I think that the upgraded Apothecan's Servant was a bad thing overall, because a lot of the zombies community gives games like Cold War a lot of shit for being too easy, and to an extent I do agree, it doesn't take that much skill to get to round 100 or 200 on that game. Part of the reason that we play zombies is to get better at it over time. You don't want to start off way too overpowered and then you get bored with the game after like 2 days of playing it. That was a problem with Shadows of Evil. If you got the upgraded Apothecan's Servant, you were basically set for the rest of the game. All you had to do was go sit in a corner. There was actually a high round strategy for the first couple of weeks of Black Ops 3 where you could go into a room above the waterfront area and just spam Apothecan's Servant ammo into the one window. The world record very quickly spiraled and there was people getting to around 230, 240 within a couple of weeks of release, which just shouldn't be possible on Black Ops 3. Eventually the high rounds did start rolling in a couple weeks later once people figured out you could use the flag step for the main quest Easter egg in order to infinitely spawn max ammos. But the upgraded Apothecan's Servant broke all semblance of difficulty on Shadows of Evil. You could just brain dead yourself to around 100 or 150 and you don't even need any skill whatsoever. Personally, I think zombies should take you an entire year to get good at. I would prefer that I'm peaking in DLC 4 and it took me multiple weeks to even get to round 50 or round 60. That wasn't the only issue though. The zombies themselves were also really strange. They had an extremely aggressive AI pattern. So you know how in zombies you can get windmilled where they'll double slap you quite quickly? Well, in Black Ops 3 at launch, they could do that infinitely with no cooldown. A lot of the ways that my games would end personally is I'd be running around and 1 or 2 zombies from behind would be able to catch up to me and then slap me 6 times before I was even able to get away from them. Having such bullshit downs just honestly disincentivized me and a lot of other people from wanting to play the game for a little while. It was a strange move considering that zombies had already been worked on for the last 7 years, so why were the zombies just basically like World of War again? And it's not only the aggressiveness of them that was like World of War, the zombies themselves were also really sticky, where if you got near a zombie, it felt like they were grabbing you and holding on to you, not letting go, just like in World of War. And we've got a map like Shadows of Evil with a lot of tight corridors. In order to get through all of the districts, then you're going to have a lot of bullshit downs. Seriously, I still have nightmares from that. There was so many just painfully stupid downs that should have never happened and wouldn't happen in 2024 with them being fixed. For a while it felt like zombies had regressed back to 2008 and Treyarch just forgot how to code the zombies. It was a really confusing decision. That's not even where it stopped though. You know the sliding mechanic, the thing that was first introduced for Black Ops 3 that a lot of people really love about the movement? Well, if you got hit by a zombie while you were crouched or you were sliding, you couldn't actually sprint away from the zombie. You had to manually uncrouch and then sprint away. It was so weird. I had to reprogram my entire brain to not slide for the first couple of months of Black Ops 3 because I knew that if a zombie had got anywhere near me, then I was going to go down 100% of the time. Now granted, a lot of this could be chalked up to just straight up skill issues, and I will agree with you, but when you're buying a brand new game, you're not going to be adjusted to this sort of thing. You're wanting to go in and have fun. You're not wanting to have to deal with the weird quirks that the game has. Not even the basics of the map were safe from this weird shit, when you went in to do the rituals, you know, the things that you gotta do 4 times in order to just open Pack-a-Punch, for some reason on launch day, it took 60 seconds each, even in a solo game. It would lock you into the room for a literal 60-second timer. Thank God that was patched, because imagine trying to watch a Shadows of Evil Easter egg speedrun where a fifth of the entire thing is just sitting around in the ritual room doing nothing. I guarantee you someone would have figured out how to break out of there before then. Of course, because it's a Call of Duty game, it also had to have server issues, and not just on launch day or even the first week. There were still issues with servers up to 2 months after release into the new year. In order to refresh my memory for this video, I went back and watched some of my old videos from 2015 right around launch, and man, I made a whole video rambling and ranting about these server issues. It was insane. That's it for the really big issues though, but there was a lot of really small ones as well that were just kind of weighing the game down at the time. Like, I remember I was one of the first 30 people in the world on PlayStation to get to the max rank, and when I got there I realized there was no Prestige Master ranks. You would just sit at Prestige 10 level 35, and it took a couple of months in order to get the Prestige Master system in place. There was also a lot of confusion around Liquid Diviniums as well, and just how you were able to get them in the first place. There's still videos going up in 2024 on how just to farm them quickly, so imagine the confusion in 2015. There was a lot of people, rightfully so, questioning why can't you just get Liquid Diviniums from going through 10 rounds every single time. I honestly still think that should have been the case, where you just unlock them by playing the game. Honestly, you shouldn't need to buy stuff from the wall. And Treyarch also changed around the Pack-a-Punch abilities multiple times throughout the year. At launch, Blast Furnace was the best one that you could use because it had like a 3-second cooldown timer and could kill 24 zombies at a time. Deadwire was absolutely terrible. It could maybe kill 1 to 2 zombies at best. And then it was changed so the Blast Furnace was entirely nerfed for a little while, and they didn't buff Deadwire, and then they buffed Deadwire and then nerfed Blast Furnace even more. And for some reason, on extremely high rounds near launch, the Blast Furnace would actually create invisible zombies. I was watching Steve's round 219, and that was something that he pointed out. Clearly, all of that stuff though is a thing of the past now, because I didn't remember the majority of this stuff until I was talking on stream about this a couple of days ago. Which is crazy, because back in 2015, there was a lot of conversation about whether Shadows of Evil was even a good map. I remember actually quitting Black Ops 3 for a little while. With a lot of patience with the community and a lot of persistence to just keep patching things and making the game better, Treyarch eventually made a really fucking great map. I love almost everything about Shadows of Evil. Sure, the high rounds can be a bit annoying here and there, but the music, the atmosphere, the lighting, the colors, everything about Shadows' aesthetic is so on point. It's definitely not a map designed for everybody. There is a lot of questions to be asked about whether Shadows of Evil is the most uncasual friendly map ever made, with you basically needing to look up tutorials for almost everything if you really want to play it properly. But for those of us who are hardcore members of the zombies community and we've been playing for over a decade, hell yeah, Shadows of Evil is the GOAT. And it's a great example of all the things that zombies did really well during its golden ages, but it also is a great example of the things that zombies did poorly and why after Black Ops 4 the gameplay needed to be stripped back. Regardless of that though, I still see people playing Shadows of Evil 5, 10, 15 years from now, and I'm really excited to see what people do with it in the future, especially in the Easter egg speedruns. Those things are crazy. Sorry for not uploading yesterday, my wife's been having some health issues the last couple of months and she just wanted to hang out with me. We broke our 14-day upload streak, but that means we can just start another one up. And before you go, make sure to hit the buttons. That would really be appreciated, honestly, and check out this video on the screen right now. This channel has a lot of really great content, so go watch some more of it. Thank you for watching all the way through. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.